Hi. Happy Friday. Let me actually take my glasses off because we are unwinding. We're talking about my favorite thing, which is business. Happy Friday. Do you guys realize we've been doing these Friday Night Lives for a little bit, about like a month and a half? That's a pretty long and significant relationship, don't you think? I mean, we've been dating Friday nights at 8 p.m. talking about business for a month and a half. That's more than a lot of people's relationships last when they're just dating and they're meeting somebody new that they don't know and asking all these different questions and things like that. So I said all that to say I appreciate you being here with me and sticking with me and assist you every single Friday night here at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I just want to go ahead and roll right into it, right? So the question for tonight, actually, I would love for you guys to put into the comments is something that you're currently working on. If you are watching this and you're just joining, go ahead and put in the comments something that you are working on or have worked on or completed for the month of August. I would love to talk about it and possibly post it up for everybody else to see. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Friday. So excited. So tonight's sponsor is actually us. Yes, I know. So I decided that on the last Friday of every single month, I'm going to show my appreciation for everybody who's watched, everybody who's learning something new and sharing their Friday night time with me, 30 to 45 minutes, sometimes an hour if things get really juicy in business, right? So I just feel like Assist-U should definitely say thank you and should be a sponsor of one of these. Assist-U, if you don't know, is my subscription-based staffing company where we also do consulting and a lot of other fun things as well. But basically, we help solo entrepreneurs and small to mid-sized businesses regain their sanity by taking control of their administrative tasks. I mean, who would not like to be able to delegate things out and just not have to worry about it anymore until somebody says, hey, this is done. So tonight's sponsor is us Assist-U. So hi, and you're welcome. Right? So let's go just roll right into it. So weekly wins. There were a lot of weekly wins in a lot of the Facebook groups that I am in that people talked about. I know one woman was excited about, leaving her 9 to 5 and finally starting her business. So definitely kudos to her. That is a huge, courageous leap, right? Another win that somebody else said was they lost 7 pounds in the month of August. So that I know myself is a super, super big win. And then my win. So I actually posted my win already onto my Facebook page itself. And my win this week was I kind of doubted myself for a second, which now thinking back and looking back, I think that was kind of ridiculous of me, but I was asked by a client to do something very specific on their website that I had never done before. Of course, I consulted with my team. I researched. I did everything like everybody else does. I YouTube and Google and watch. And I was able to go ahead and figure out a way to fix what was broken on the client's website. So after I fixed it for the very first time, of course, I tested it, quality assurance testing, which we'll actually talk about tonight too. And I was able to get it fixed. And then once I actually went inside of the client meeting, they were completely just in awe. And I think the quote that I put on my post was, don't limit your abilities by your current abilities or current knowledge or something very profound like that, right? So basically, don't box yourself in. If you are doing something new for the very first time and someone has requested something of you, definitely you can let them know and be honest. This is the first time I've ever done this, because honesty gets you a long way, right? But always, challenge yourself. You never want to stay in the same position or stay, never growing in your skills and in your craft. So definitely that was a huge win for me, right? So Michi says, I'm working on my monetization strategy session creation. This came organically out of talking with some potential clients around monetization. This will be an official offer in September. All right, that's a nice win. That's a money win, right? That's really good. So I like that. Congratulations. And then Michi said, go girl, you could do anything you put your mind to. Thank you, Michi. I don't know why I be doubting myself sometimes, but I'm human just like everyone else. So I really appreciate that. So let's see. Typically, I move right along to tonight's topic, but again, at the beginning of the live, I said I wanted to know something. So I want to know what you're working on. I want to know what you are going to either do in the month of September. When we get back together, it will be September. Or what have you completed, or what have you done in the month of August? That could be business-wise, personal, you name it, just something that you've done, because we're all about forward progression, right? We don't want to stay stagnant. So awesome. Happy Friday to you, Kia, as well. All right. So let's go ahead and just roll into tonight's topic, shall we? So I posted the post about tonight's topic yesterday, and someone was like, Antonia, what does that mean, an executable plan? Well, in a nutshell, there are plans that people just make for fun, and there's absolutely no freaking way it's going to be done or completed. And then there are actually well-crafted, thought-invoked strategy executable plans, right? So those are the ones that we're going to talk about. We're not talking about the ones, when you and your friends are together and you've had a couple of drinks of wine and you guys are like talking about, going to Rome or Italy, and then everybody's like, oh, excited about going overseas. Has this happened to you? It's happened to me. And then nobody shows up or nobody does it. That was just kind of like a fly-by-night, fairy tale plan, because nobody actually put real steps and effort and thought into it to actually make it come to fruition. So tonight we're going to go over creating an executable plan. This live actually has a mind map. So I know you guys missed them. They are actually back. So let me go ahead and put it up right now. Let me make it bigger for you. Here you go. All right. Awesome. So I'm going to say that we are going to do this graphic style. So we're going to go over the graphic first, and then I'm going to give you a couple of scenarios of how you can actually apply it in your business and or in your personal life, because this is how I tackle things that I think that I want, right? So we're going to go through a couple of stages. So the first stage is what I call the splatter stage. So not to get too graphic, but if you can think about, those really artsy-fartsy kind of artistic people that wear the blue jean overalls and have the big frizzy fro and the big glasses and the mustard tank top underneath the overalls. And they're in this big white room and they have big, big buckets of paint and they're just throwing crap on the wall, right? And then somehow, some way, it just ends up looking like beautiful and sells for like thousands of dollars. That is theoretically what you're going to do with your dreaming, your discovery phase, your planning phase, right? So we're going to splatter stuff up on the wall, theoretically. So I put some things in here about like things that you would actually need in order to do the splatter stage. So I call this my everything stage. You would also want to make sure you have a timer, because you don't want to be spending all day doing this. Like, you actually have real things to do, hopefully revenue generating things that you have to do, right? You want to, if this is, your forte, have some music, loud music, jazz, pop, rap, whatever's going to get your creative juices flowing and get you in the mood to actually want to think about infinite possibilities. Then I really, really like getting fresh notebooks. Back to school sales are on right now. Target usually has like a 99-cent notebook that's about 70 pages. That's really all I need for my splatter stage. And I just muck it up, right? And or if you want to be, more business like, you can utilize a whiteboard or a chalkboard, whatever you have available. And you just want to, freestyle. You want to let your ideas flow about something that you want to do and how you think you could get there. Whether or not it's actually something that's feasible is totally, something you're going to think about later on, not right now. So you're going to just get it out of your brain. Okay. The next stage is going to be what I call the moonwalk stage. This is being logical. This is the logic part. So you're actually going to really want to think about the end and the start and the steps in between of how to do something. So what does that mean? Basically, that means that you want to start from where you want your customer or your client or yourself or your team or your company to end up, and then walk your way backwards, right, into the beginning. So a lot of people, when I was in like middle school and grade school, they would come in and say, what's your goal? What is your 5-year plan? And, that never really made sense to me, because I'm like, well, what difference does it make if I don't really know where I want to end up? I know I want something, but I really don't know how to get there. And the way you get there is by walking yourself back to figure out, to get to the point where you're currently at, right? So you have to use logic. The next step, let me know if any of this doesn't make sense, okay? We'll go over it again in a scenario. So the next step is your launch step. So this is where you're actually going to take those steps that you created in your moonwalk stage, and you're going to apply timelines to it. You're going to give them due dates. You're going to craft communications to people who need to know that this is coming. And then documentation. You want to document all of the work that you're doing so that the next time you want to create an executable plan, you don't have to reinvent the wheel, right? So that makes sense. And then the last and final step is the evaluation stage. So basically in the evaluation stage, you're going to survey your results. Did you actually get to your endpoint that you moonwalked from? Was it successful? Did it fail? Why? Why was it successful? And then feedback. This could be from your employees. This could be from your customers. This could be from your clients. This could be from a partner in your business or whatnot. And then you ultimately want to plan for the next one, because you never want to rest on your loins, as the saying and the phrase goes. You always want to continue to move forward, because businesses that don't continue to think forward and move forward and plan forward will end up being left behind. So, all right. So that in a nutshell is my way to move through this idea of creating an executable plan. So let's go over a quick scenario. So Anya says, don't work hard, work smarter. That's right, Anya. So very true. And it looks like she's moonwalking as well. So that's cool. All right, so let's go to a real life scenario. I'm not going to say names, but a client is going through this right now. So let's say that you already have a business and you're well established and people know you have your regulars, you have your normal sales, but then you're kind of wanting to, like do a little increase and move the people who already know you, who are already maybe on your email list, to want to buy something immediately, like a flash sale or something like that. But what you don't know is actually these flash sales and, these holiday sales and all of these things, they're very well planned, well in advance. So let's just pretend that we're going to go ahead and do that. So if I was that business owner and I wanted to do a flash sale, I would, just throw up everything in the splatter phase up on the wall. So what do I want to sell? How do I want to sell? What do I want to sell it for? Who do I want to sell it for? Why would they care? Why would they buy it now? Why do they need it? Where am I going to post this sale? How many times am I going to post the sale? So all of these ideas, I would just throw into my notebook or onto my whiteboard. And then I would move to the moonwalk stage, right? And in the moonwalk stage, I know that the end result is I ultimately want my customer to buy something. So then I would have to back in to the beginning. Right now, they're not currently spending any money at this very moment, right? So what's going to get them from point A to point B? Logically, it makes sense for me to send an email, do a live, post about it again, post about it again, tell a friend, incentivize it with a coupon code, make it a secret, give them a sense of urgency and demand because it's going to go away soon. So all of these things are going to emotionally move a person through what's called like a funnel or an executable plan in order for you to get to the end result, which is for you to have that cha-ching and to make some more money, right? So then the launch steps. So all of those ideas about the FOMO and, the coupon code and your posts and your lives and all that stuff, all of those things need something that is quantifiable and something that can hold you accountable. So they need deadlines, they need dates, they need an automation so that they're automatically pushed out, right? Like when are your emails going to go out to somebody, right? So those are the things that you want to think about in addition to your communications. And then you want to document all of this stuff because at the end, if it's successful, you have now created a new process and strategy that works for your audience and for your business, okay? So now we're going to move to the evaluation part. So the evaluation part can be as complicated or as simple in this scenario as you would like it to be. Let's keep it simple, okay? So in this particular scenario, after the sale is over, you can not only send your customers another email, you could also put a survey in there and say, hey, if you complete the survey, you get another 15 to 10% off of something else, right? It just keeps on going, right? Or you can get feedback from your customers on your website or at your checkout. Or you could send them an email if like you are a service-based company as well. And just, to find out exactly how it worked for them and what made them buy. At what point did they decide, okay, let me go ahead and pay this money and get this, whatever it is. And then you want to plan for the next one because now you know whether or not you've had a successful process or a not successful process. Okay. So that is scenario one. Let me see if there's any questions. Okay, cool. Anya says, make a marketing calendar for the fiscal year just for promotion. So key. So key. That way the dates don't sneak up on you. Because I promise you, as you're making sales, as you're growing your business, as you're thinking of new ways to do things, these dates are going to fly by and you're going to miss some key opportunities to make sales in your company or to grow your brand awareness or whatever your goal is for whatever it is this plan is for, right? Okay. So let's give another scenario. Let's say that you're not a business owner. And let's say that you are you're coming in, I'm sorry. I'm really only talking to business owners. So let's say you're a business owner and you're a consultant. And you're coming into a company and they hired you to streamline some processes. So after you build rapport with the team, right? Because you don't want to come in and like bark and people are not going to be really responsive to you. So after you come in, you want to then go through your splatter phase. Why is this broken? Why is this working? Why is this like this? How can we do this better? And just brainstorm, hopefully not just by yourself, but with the team of the employees in this scenario, and throw everything on the whiteboard because you'll probably be in a conference room, okay? So then you'll move on to the moonwalk stage. So whatever is broken at that organization, that is the starting point. You want to know what the end point is. Once you guys define it as a team, what the endpoint is, then you as the consultant will probably, obviously it'll be approved, but you'll probably then figure out the steps that you need in order to fix whatever it is that's broken in that organization that you have been hired to fix, okay? You use the logic. Then you'll move over to the launch steps. So just because the word is launch does not mean that you're starting something new. That doesn't mean that you're like starting a new business. It doesn't mean that you have invented something new. It just basically means that this is now coming. It probably wasn't here before, or you're enhancing something that was already existing. So in this scenario, as the consultant who's trying to fix a process that is broken in an organization, you would then put the due dates and the timelines of when you want probably key departments to fix things or to do these things or to complete these tasks. And then you turn into a little bit of a project manager at that point, right? But nonetheless, it's the same process. So then you also want to have communication. You don't want to just go in there, like I said, all willy-nilly and just change up things. You want to make sure you keep the people around you comfortable. And so you could probably draft a memo or an official process change or a SOP for that organization. And the communication can come from you, or it can come from the owner or whoever, but there has to be some type of communication being sent out when you are executing this plan that you've crafted, either alone or with the group, right? And then documentation, same thing. You want to document everything from the very beginning to the very end, because if this process works, then now not only as you as a consultant do you have more confidence in yourself and your skills, and also know that you've now fixed this organization and you could add that to your portfolio, but now your client is actually a lot happier because now they see exactly how to fix things once they realize that they are broken, and maybe not have to spend so much money on a consultant the next time. It's a win-win, right? And then the evaluation. Same thing in the scenario as the last one. You want to communicate. You want to ask people, how did this go? How did me working with you make things better in your organization? Is there any feedback of things that we could have potentially done differently? And then plan for the next one. Typically, I know this is just like a fake scenario, but typically if an organization has one process that's broken, they've probably got a lot more, just to be honest with you. So I think that's what it is. So hopefully those two scenarios made sense to you. I could quickly give you a last and third one: everyday life as a parent, or a husband and wife, and you have children, and you're trying to plan for a trip. You want to throw everything up on the wall for the trip of places that you want to go. Then get realistic. Logically speaking, what's going to be family friendly in my case, right? And then do some due dates if we have to save for this trip, if we need to get vaccinations for this trip. It's the same process. It's just moving from step to step in order to get to the completion, which, if you notice, a lot of people unfortunately cannot do. So this takes a lot of effort, and it takes a lot of diligence in order for you to make sure that you're not getting stuck on a stage, or that you just give up altogether, right? So I hope that was helpful for you. If you have any questions, or if you have a scenario that you're trying to think through and you just want someone to brainstorm with, feel free to message me on Facebook, Antonia Mason, obviously that's me. And I'd be more than happy to try to think things through with you and figure out what we could do in order to get your plan executed. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So Anya says, Michi said, yes, that happened to me. Missed some dates to sell. Yep. With the promotions calendar. Anya says, #holidays is the new online holidays, which you can promote all year long, i.e. National Ice Cream Day, National Red Wine Day. So I was talking to one of my employees today about there's a national, it's not a holiday, like to sell something, but it's National African American like breastfeeding day. So there was like a whole bunch of like African-American breastfeeding their babies everywhere, but it's a holiday now, apparently. So do it up. If you are a boutique owner that sells, lactation devices, that would definitely be a hashtag day that you would definitely want to put into your promotional calendar for the next year, or maybe even tonight if you can catch it, right? So I think that's pretty awesome. Cool. Well, I hope that was informative to you about how to schedule or execute a plan that you devise either in your personal life or your business. So I just want to go ahead and just do our little spiel and give you an update, right? So we have been talking a couple of weeks now about our Mission 100, where we're trying to help 100 businesses either start or launch a new product or service. And last week we were at 9. This week I am so happy to say that we are now at 11. So excited. Super exciting times. A lot of people, I guess, are realizing, it's time for them to do something new. And they don't want to do it alone, or they want guidance or some, advice about how to do it effectively and to get the best bang for their buck. So they've been reaching out, and I think some of them are actually referrals from people who watch our live. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate all the shares and all the likes and all the hearts and everything. And it's been awesome tapping into people's businesses and figuring out how they work and what their passions are and what they fix, right? So I love that. Couple things. I received a lot of good feedback from last week's live when Anya was on, my marketing guru, my business bestie, my ace boon coon, my heart, right? She actually really enjoyed it as well. And she wanted me to tell you guys, thank you for having her. And actually, we got so much good feedback. She's actually going to come back again in September. We might even do it together if we're close to each other, because right now she's in a different state. So she will be back. And so if you have any marketing questions that you have, please don't hesitate to put them on the post once you see it coming up. I believe it might even be like next Friday or the one after. So she will be here to answer any marketing and strategic questions that you may have. So if no one else has any wins or questions that they have this Friday, I think we're probably going to end it pretty early this week. Maybe because it's the last Friday of the week. People are out like shining and styling and stuff like that. So, well, maybe not. It's quarantine. Anywho, we're here. And I'm so happy to be here with you. So I will catch you next Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, same place, same time. And I'm really going to enjoy our date. I really appreciate all the time you spend with me. You have a great rest of your weekend. Bye.